Hi everybody, today we're gonna play Tanami Roadside Zoo, the timed scenario from Planet Zoo from the Australia pack. We're gonna achieve a gold medal in the hard level, so off we go. We have to get some exhibit species in here, some habitat species in here. We have to get their welfare levels up to a certain level. We have to get the education level up, and we have to have some profit from I think both the annual profits and shop profits as well. So that's what we're gonna do today. We already have 3 animal species in this zoo, and we have some staff walking around here, but we need some more, so we're just gonna add some research centers. And as you can see here, there are some toxic waste bins here in this zoo. Like, there's one there too, right there. You have to remove one when they're close to a habitat or in a habitat, because they will make your animals sick. This zoo is not available for adjusting time frame, so when it's gonna be dark, it's gonna be dark, and you just have to deal with that. The flamingo and flamingo habitat is too small, so you have to start with making that one bigger. Otherwise your welfare is gonna be a very serious issue with those animals. Get your habitat boards linked, and add speakers, as they are not there yet. The habitat boards are already there, so you just have to link them to the correct animal species. Then you have to add just all the items which you need in a habitat, because they all have just one water ball and one food ball, and that's just not enough. For water, I strongly advise you use the pump, because that one just keeps refilling itself constantly, and you don't have to depend on keepers for filling the water up. So your animals will never get thirsty as long as they have this water pump in their enclosures. Research has been done for a very big amount already, so that is really a good thing. You have to do some research to some species, but not much. Like, for example, the southern cassowary has not really been researched yet, but the African bison and flamingo are, so they already have all the enrichment items available which you actually need. So that's awesome. Make sure you provide them with shelter, they will love you for it. And don't forget to add more donation bins to your zoo, because there's just 1 or 2 per habitat, and the more the better. Okay, so we're gonna have to get a 5-star animal in this scenario too. So for that we're gonna try to get as much golden medal animals as possible, and when there's no gold available, we're gonna deal with silver. That will work too, but try to get as much gold as possible, because they will get you your 5-star animals. Okay, so here we're gonna build an enclosure for both the kangaroo and the koala. They are a perfect fit together, so that's what we're gonna do. And don't forget to change this little part of the fence to brick wall, because otherwise your koalas are gonna escape, because they are climbers and they will just hop out. And you have to add a transformer here or another power source, because this side of the zoo does not have any power yet. Don't forget to get some glass in your walls, because otherwise your guests won't see any animals, and that's gonna be an issue. Okay, get all the habitat stuff in there you need. Don't forget to put up the education boards with the speakers. For each species you have to have 1 education board and 1 speaker at least. There's an animal escaping issue here. I think it might be because I did the barrier wrong. I cannot remove that part of the wall, but that's okay, we're just gonna let it be for now. Okay, so these rocks are the cost for the animals to escape, so we're just gonna get rid of them and get this barrier up a little higher, because that's one is just right on top of a hill. That's not gonna work. This one has no power, so on this side we're also gonna build a transformer You can also use wind turbines, but I prefer the transformer because they just have a wider range. And with the wind turbines, they're not my favorite at all. If you want to use environment-friendly power source, you should use the solar panels, because they are supposed to go just alongside the path and the guests won't mind staring at them. But since this is a timed scenario and things doesn't have to look pretty, you better use your transformers, because that's what they are for. So as I mentioned before, this is a timed scenario. It's not about prettiness, it just has to do what it has to do. Just that. Nothing more, nothing less. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be efficient. Alright, don't forget to keep going on your research on all the animals, because that's super important to get your education objective. I did not add any enrichment items or food stuff and shelters in this habitat yet, so that's what I'm gonna do here. I don't know if all things are available. I don't think there's any food enrichment items available for the koalas yet, but that's okay, we'll come back to that later. In the meantime, we're just gonna keep an eye on what animals are available. I have a golden dingo, so now I'm gonna add a silver one to make a couple. There is a golden koala, but I cannot afford it as I don't have enough conservation points. Money is gone too, so I'm just gonna get out a loan. For now, that's no problem. This zoo will earn you money quickly, so don't hesitate to take a loan. It will just keep you, get you going, and once you're going, you can just pay it off. No problem. Get your dingoes in this habitat, and then get the dingoes all the stuff they need as well, especially lots of enrichment items, because they're sort of dogs, so they are very playful, so they need lots to play with. And as you can see, money is running low, but that's okay, it will get back up, I promise. Don't forget the speaker and the education board again, and link it to the correct animal species. Then, in the meantime, there is some research being done. The mechanic research is done to get access to the one-way glass, which is going to be super useful for our turtles we're gonna have later, and the springbok and gamsbok we're gonna have later as well, because they tend to be very, very shy, especially the springboks and the turtles. So here's the turtles. I cannot afford any expensive ones, and here's gamsbok. There's at least one golden, so I'm very happy with that. I'm just gonna add them in their new habitat, and mechanic research was just completed, so I will change the barrier to the one-way glass so that they won't get shy and they will be happy and not stressed. Don't forget to provide the animals with their new enrichment items, especially focusing on the gamsboks. And as you can see, all is green and well over the limit. Make sure you're always well over the limit, because you have to have the welfare up as high as possible, and you're playing hard level, which means animals might get bored after some time. Okay, koalas need some climbing stuff, and I forgot about that, so I'm just gonna add these 3 boards and they'll be good. Then there's gonna be some turtles in there, and we're gonna have to add some stuff for them too. Especially the food enrichment items are very different, because they are wanting to have the dog balls and that sort of stuff. There's some koala escaping here. The southern cassowaries have been breeding pretty good, so they have to be released to the wild for me to get more conservation points, to get more animals in here. As I just added another species into this habitat, I have to add another education board with speaker again. And now I'm gonna go to the how do you say that? Now, come on. To these reptiles. You have to have 3 of them too, so I'm just gonna get 4. And they are a great way to try to get your 5-star animal as well, because they are super fast breeders and they don't require much attention. When you place bins, get these green recycle bins, because they will get you conservation points. So that's a good thing, right? When you want to have great animals, you should just get these great recycle bins. Don't forget to put up some shops, because that's one of your objectives. You're gonna have some shop profit. Especially drink shops will be very, very, very awesome, because this is a desert climate. It's Australia, and you really need to have people buying stuff from you. And in a hot climate, they will just keep buying drinks. In a cold climate as well. That's because people just get more thirsty and then hungry. So that's perfect. If you want to get your shop profits up, just place drink shops. Alright, there's some objectives being achieved. That's fine. We have an education objective here too, so I'm just gonna get some conservation boards in here. We don't need much because the limit for the education level is not too high in this scenario. In the meantime, I'm gonna have some golden and silver exhibit species, and that is just great because then I can start breeding for my 5-star animal with these reptiles as well. I don't have any money left, so I'm just gonna get another loan, and there I'm gonna build 2 medium exhibit buildings, which gives me access to enough spots to get all these animals in there. Make sure their temperature and humidity is in the right range, and you'll get them their enrichment items too, because most of the exhibit species have already had their research done. Don't forget to link the education boards, and when you get these exhibit species, make sure you're just gonna use species that not gonna breed like 50 in a year, because you just don't have the time to keep up with that. Also because you're having this game sped up 3 times, you're just not gonna be able to keep up, and the welfare is gonna be a serious issue here. So just get snakes and stuff, and they will breed fast enough for you to get your 5-star animal in here. No problem at all. And still you're gonna have issues every now and then with exhibits being too crowded, but that's not too bad, as you can just sell them for good money. I just got another golden flamingo, so I'm just gonna add that one to the habitat as well. I can have some more flamingos in there. For the education level, it's very important that you're also gonna place these information stands. They will provide the guests with audio sets with which they can get some more information through their ears, their headsets, once they are just looking at an animal. So more objectives are filling up. That's perfect. We need to have more guests in there. The profits have to go up, and we still have to get that one 5-star animal. So we're just going to keep an eye on the animals that are available. There are hungry animals in here, so we're just going to hire some more keepers. Make sure you just keep up with the training of your staff, because more training of your staff will result in better the better they will do their job. It's easier than and cheaper, as really cheaper than hiring more staff, as 5-star keepers can do much more work more efficiently than 1-star keepers, and the same for the vets, the mechanics, and so on and so on. So we already have enough animals in our zoo, but to get some more guests in here, we're just going to add another fancy species in here. It's going to be a predator species, which guests love. Predator species are a good way to get people into your zoo. They're more of the interesting species, so that's good. The gharials, which I'm going to put in here, are very easy to keep, and they are, well, as I said before, they're a predator, so guests will love them. It's not like they're going to be their favorite, but there's no lines available in this scenario, so I'm just going to deal with what I'm having here, so that's going to be the gharials for me now. I got plenty of water in this scenario, so that's not going to be an issue at all. Make sure you get all the enrichment items in, which is quite a challenge when you don't have too much soil to play around with. Most of the stuff you can throw just into the water, but make sure that your food enrichment items are always within reach of the habitat gate. So here there were some exhibit species things going on. They've been breeding pretty well. So at some point you're just going to have too many animals, so just keep an eye on that and just get them out of your zoo. to keep them happy and not having space issues or being stressed because of a lack of space. Don't pay attention to inbreeding, because that's not don't have to pay attention to that, because that's just a waste of time. Since you have to get your 5-star animal, you just better pay attention to getting silver and gold star animals into your zoo instead of inbreeding or not. Doesn't matter, your animals won't do any worse when they're inbred, so you're just gonna let them be for now. It just doesn't look pretty that you get the message all the time, but that's okay. So we have to get some more people in here. So we're just gonna add some more marketing, and we already almost hit the shop target and the yearly profit target, so that's good. The zoo amount of guests is also getting up pretty well, so we're just gonna focus on saving on money a little and getting that. Oh no, excuse me. Apparently we already got our 5-star animal, so we don't have to pay attention to that anymore. The Gharial has escaped, so we're just gonna get it. Always use the emergency capture. It just saves you lots of money and stress for your guests, especially when you want to have guests in your zoo. It's not a good idea to let them race around because some animal's chasing them. So again, these snakes are breeding pretty well, so you just have to get rid of them every now and then in order to keep their welfare up, otherwise they're gonna have some issues. Here there's some terrain temperature issues for the bisons, so you just have to add coolers, which you're gonna set to like 20 degrees and they'll be happy. Otherwise 40 degrees, 45 degrees here in this desert is just gonna be way too hot for them. Also keep an eye on those southern cassowaries, because they're gonna be aggressive when there's too many adults in there. And just to get more animals in my zoo, I'm just gonna add some springboks here. We already have all the stuff we need. I'm gonna get another Gharial so they can start breeding too. Just scrolling through the list and see if I can get some more interesting animals in my zoo in order to get more guests into my zoo. And as a result of that, get the profit levels up. As you can see now, I already have enough guests in my zoo. I just need to hit that 30,000 yearly profit. I think I'm well on my way to that, but well, it's just gonna hit the end of the year and I'm not sure, so I better just get going with my animal levels, get the entrance price up a little, and as you can see, it's now a new year, so apparently I did not hit my target, so I'm just gonna try it again. Just gonna keep up with your animal levels and make sure that when your animals escape, you're just gonna catch them using the emergency capture, and make sure that you're gonna hit your target somehow. So there's too many kangaroos in here, too many adult kangaroos. It's not gonna hurt, but it's just good to get rid of them every now and then, otherwise it's just gonna be too crowded and they're gonna have space issues, and you just don't want that, since that's gonna kill your welfare target, which you need to get a gold star in this scenario. So now there's gonna be inbreeding issues popping up every now and then, but just let that go for now, because that's not interesting at all, like I said before. You're just not gonna pay attention to that in this time scenario, because that's not what you really want to pay attention to. You got some more important stuff to do. Like now there's 3 male dingoes, so you have to get rid of 2, otherwise they're gonna start fighting. Research is being done all the way, so that's perfect. There's one exhibit species which hadn't had his research done yet, so now the vets are working on that one too. And we just have to wait again till the end of the year, and now it's already November, so we're getting there. We're just gonna continue doing what we're doing, keeping an eye on everything, and keeping the fingers crossed that we're gonna make it this time. That would be great. We got way too many time left on the clock, so that's not gonna be an issue at all. Don't be scared. There we go. Gold Star Tanami Roadside Zoo. Thank you for watching.